I want to bring in Jermaine Rhodes now. He joined a gang as a child in Chicago, and it wasn't until years later that he got out, and now he is trying to get other Chicago kids off the streets and see a brighter future. Jermaine is joining us live tonight. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Well, let me get your response to what Aisha was saying right there. In terms of just turning on some lights in Chicago, would that help?
Of course not. People get shot in broad daylight all the time. People get shot on Interstate 290. It's not lights that'll stop people from killing each other. We got to go deeper than that, way deeper.
So what do we need to do?
She said one thing right. We got to look at this as a health problem. And if I got time, I would like to get deep in this because I look at it as a health problem too. If we all understand how syphilis works, right? Syphilis is an STD that can be treated with a penicillin if you catch it early. But if syphilis go untreated, it'll eat up the nerves and then it'll eat up the brain. Right now, Black people in Chicago got syphilis and it ate up our nerves. And our nerve is not able to send signal to our brain to let us know that we're messed up. We don't know that we're messed up. So we keep doing the same things over and over and over again. We don't know that we're causing harm to ourselves.
Jermaine, you said something recently in an interview. You said, don't judge my choices when you didn't see my options. Describe for me what your childhood was like.
My childhood was terrible. Both my parents did drugs. My daddy did drugs till the day he died. They found him with a pipe in his hand. My mom still do drugs to this day. I haven't talked to her in 3 years. But basically, I grew up with nothing. I grew up in a trap house. My house was the house that they sold drugs out of. Everybody in my family was in a gang. Everybody in my family sold drugs. Not one person in my family had a job. Not one.
And you were on that path. What was your turning point?
Mr. Reginald Berry, an old gang chief from my neighborhood. It took him a long time to talk sense into me, but he did. It took him like 3-4 years. But he's the one that turned me around. And because he looked at me and he told me my whole life story without knowing me. And he was able to do that. And that let me know that it's the same story in these streets. Nothing changed. You sell drugs, you make some money, you get some clout, you go to jail, or you die. The end. Not a long story.
Right. What did it take finally, though, to convince you? You had heard it over and over again. You saw what you were facing and what you were dealing with. What was the one thing that he said that took you to a place where you saw some hope?
It's not what he said, it's what he did. The fact that he never gave up on me. The fact that he was a role model. The fact that I had somebody that I can disappoint. I had somebody that I can let down for the first time in my life. And I refuse to let that man down. Most of us in the hood ain't got role models. We don't have somebody we can let down. So if you don't have nobody that you can let down, there's nothing stopping me from doing nothing bad. And it's because he never gave up on me. And I believe that that's the first time I want to say I had real love, like from a parent. Like I had real love, so that's what it is in the hood. We don't really got real love.
So how are you going to pay that forward? What are you doing now to help others who are in the same situation that you were in?
I'm just doing the same thing he did to me. I'm not giving up. I still live in the same neighborhood that I grew up in. And now I'm some of a role model. I'm 30 years old. I make almost 100 grand a year. And I won't leave. And I'm an ex-felon. That's a plus.
And you make your money doing what now? When you tell them this is what you can do and you can make a living, what are you doing?
I work on sets. I'm a rigging grip. I work on the sets of TV shows at Center Space. And I've been doing that since 2014.
And if they were to say, well, is that fulfilling? What do you say?
Well, I love it. It's a wonderful thing. But it's not for everybody. You have to find out what you like. You can't chase money. You got to chase happiness. And if you find something that makes you happy, do it. I don't care what it is.
Right. Just giving them some optimism. What would you tell a kid on the street right now who doesn't see a way out?
It's not one answer. So I can't say one thing and expect him to hear it and believe what I say. I don't know what that kid going through. Everybody going through different things. So the best thing we can do is not talk to the kids, but listen to them. We keep giving people what we think they need, and it ain't worked yet. We have to stop doing that. We have to listen to them and give them what they say they need. Is that something?
And show them that they have love and people who care about them out there. And I think,
Yeah.
Jermaine, seeing you out here speaking like you are gives them motivation. I sure hope so, that there is life on the other side of gangs.
It is. And there's not too many gangs out there in Chicago like people think it is. There's a lot of cliques. It's not like gangs. That's not a thing no more. And nobody never shine a light on the positive. It's always negative. Honestly, since the 90s, crime have gone down in Chicago. It was way worse in the 90s. Murders was 900 a year. It's 500 a year now. Still bad.
Still bad. I
better
don't know.
than
I wake
murders.
up every Monday morning and look at the weekend crime rates, and it's pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know. It's not nothing good. I'm not bragging on it. I'm just saying that it's better than the 90s.
Yeah.
It's
Jermaine,
we went from 900 a year to 500 a year.
I'm out of time, but thank you for giving a voice to a group of people who need to know that there is somebody out there who wants to do good by them, and that you want to make the streets of Chicago safer, and for the work you're doing, and for just showing so many that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's important what you're doing and what you're saying, and we're very appreciative you came on to talk to us tonight.
Thank you. Anytime. I ain't trouble.
We'll have you back. All right, Jermaine, thank
All
you.
right, cool.